Right then, Javi Guerra, what's going on with him? Obviously, we did a scout report on him literally a couple of weeks ago, and it's kind of one of those that has ended up being linked with United since. And that's rare. That happened with Dorgu. And obviously, we ended up signing Dorgu. But normally, when we do these scout reports, they end up signing for Brighton or Dortmund or somebody like that. So it's nice that people are going quite big on Javi Guerra to United. Marca has said that Javi has rejected the latest contract renewal from Valencia. He has indicated he's open to the move, and United are reportedly preparing a bid of around 22 million for him. Now, Valencia supposedly holding out for somewhere in the region of 26. The figures being spoken about for the level of player that is available is absolutely sensational as far as I'm concerned. They reckon negotiations are ongoing. United want to strengthen midfield under Amorim. And even though there's a little bit of buzz, and it isn't just Marca now. Nathan Salt from the Mail has come out and mentioned it. There's been a couple of others that I've seen yesterday as I was having a look at it. Valencia think they're going to get him to sign a new contract. Ron Gourlay, the CEO, reckons they're planning to present an improved contract offer by the end of the week. Guerra's made 89 appearances for Valencia, scored 8 goals, also got 4 assists. Aston Villa have been linked. Not sure what they're going to do with the financial situation that they find themselves in. AC Milan have been linked, as well as Atletico Madrid. I think if Atletico Madrid genuinely came in for him, I think United have a real struggle on our hands to be able to convince him to come to Old Trafford. But Valencia are reluctant to let him go. United seem like we're kind of in hot pursuit for him, and I genuinely think that it's about time that United were linked with a midfielder. Now, he's pretty much the only midfielder that we've been getting linked with at the moment, and I'll be honest with you, I like him. I obviously did a scout report on him, so without covering too much old ground on the scout report that we've already done, I like a lot about him, and I think you need different levels of expectation in a midfield. In any position, actually. I think you just need numbers. And for me, this is a really good Ineos profile of signing. You know what we were told that Ineos were going to be all about? Finding undervalued players that have got genuine ability that they can level up into. He ticks a lot of those boxes for me. And this is what you want to see being brought to Old Trafford, is players that haven't been proven necessarily in the Premier League. Now, that's different when we're talking about Mbeumo and Cunha, and let's just say it was Watkins or Mateta, right? Because that's who we would really want in it, realistically. Whether or not we get them is another matter. But they're coming in to be first choice players. I think if you're going to take a gamble on someone that's probably going to be a squad player. Because if he comes in, he's definitely good enough to be a squad player right now. Absolutely good enough to be a squad player right now. He might even be good enough to be a starter for us. But there's no pressure on him, and certainly no pressure at 22 to 26 million pound. Absolutely zero pressure on him coming in and being a starter for Manchester United right now. And when was the last time that we signed a player with that sort of expectation? That's what you want. This is almost your Vidic and Evra sort of style of signing, where you kind of go, don't really know a lot about him. It's not really a lot of money. If it doesn't work out, you probably make some of that money back, if not all of that money back. Get him, find out, see what he's about. If he can cut it, sensational. He's saved you 30, 40 million. And if he can't, you'll probably get most of that money back. It's a genuine low-risk effort in getting this kid in. And, you know, I think he's got a hell of a lot that really adds to what we need in midfield. Now, I keep talking about this, and I've mentioned this to one of my mates I was chatting to today. I really do see a world where United flip to a 3-5-2 with Mbeumo. See, is it right then? And Cunha leading the line with Bruno playing off of them. I do see a world where that happens. And it's a tweak rather than a change to our current system, but it is a tweak. Now, I think you need a deep line 6, and I think you need a box-to-box. I think Guerra could be that box-to-box. When I look at our midfield options at the moment, Bruno is played out of position. Mainu, He looks leaner, so we're gonna have to see if he's added a bit of range. It's still a little bit Hollywood with it, but he's added a bit of range, and I like that. He's added a tool to his bow over pre-season. I like that. He's doing stuff that we didn't see last season. That's development. That's what you want to see from your players. Come back with something new in pre-season. Kobe Manu's come back looking leaner, and he's added a little bit of range to his passing. Well played. I'm here for that. That's good. He had a poor season last season after setting a really high standard in his first season. Where's he going to play this season? I think he's got a lot to offer as one of the 10s, but we're clearly going for pace and trying to get in behind with Cunha and Mbeumo. Okay, cool. That means midfield's going to have to be a little bit different. Can he do that job? If he leaned out, if he can get a little bit more energy into those legs, he absolutely can, because he's got the ability. Ugarte, I don't know where the sort of hate campaign for Ugarte came into last season. I thought he was pretty damn good. Not world class, but certainly not shit either. I thought it was pretty damn good. Casemiro, and a lean Casemiro. Casemiro's only got to play once a week. I think he would be thinking about starting. Now, if they don't switch the formation to accommodate Bruno in like an actual number 10 position, in behind Cunha and Mbeumo, fuck. Can Bruno play one of those deep line 6 roles? For me, no. I don't think he can. Could he be the box-to-box guy? Maybe, right, okay, but you're going to have like a real disciplined number 6. And we don't really have one. Ugarte and Bruno is a disaster simply because they just don't have the physicality in terms of like height and imposing stature to play there together. And you get run over a little bit. You have got a little bit more protection by having a back three. Maybe if De Ligt's in there, you might get away with it a little, but I still think you're getting run over in the middle. That's why Casemiro works. He's a threat at both boxes, and he gives us something different in midfield. You just got to find a young version of Casemiro, and you might be able to play this formation. Who's the young version of Casemiro? Honestly, I don't know. But I do like Javi Guerra as the box-to-box option. Still probably require the 6. But I do think Javi Guerra is a really good option. And I keep saying, I'm trying to figure out exactly where the traits of this system are. We've seen it for 9 months, but it's not a system I play, right? And therefore it's a system that I don't fully understand. So I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to speak to people. I'm hoping while I'm here in America, I get the opportunity to speak to Ruben Amorim. You know, I'm going to be in press conferences. I'm trying to formulate a question for the press conferences, so when I am asked, I can say, okay, I understand the characteristics of a 6, 8, and 10. And I think most of us do, right? I think laymen understand the characteristics of a traditional 6, an 8, and a 10 in a midfield. Which of those sort of traits do you want in your 2 sort of number 6s? Because if I could find out and work out what that is, I might be able to help for content purposes. I might be able to do scout reports and understand what United are trying to like, or understand what the manager's trying to do. So I'm trying to come up with a question that rolls around that. So if I do get the opportunity, because we're in the press conferences, typically we don't bother asking. And you have to sit there listening to the absolute wibble coming out of the journalists and be like, can you tell us your plans for transfers? And you're sitting at the back going, oh, he's not going to tell you, mate. Obviously. But if I could come up with a nice question that, can you explain to me exactly what you're looking for out of those midfield 2? And frame it by saying, individually, I thought Bruno played phenomenal last season. He was player of the year for a reason. But it doesn't feel like it's a natural fit for him. So what are you looking for in that position? It might be something that we get the opportunity to ask off camera, off record. You know, we were lucky enough a couple of years ago that we were in the Players Hotel and Erik ten Hag was cutting about the place. And I asked him a question about building out from the back. And he spent 20 minutes explaining it to us, and me and Maka were just dumbfounded, and it was fucking brilliant. And that's why I love coming on these tours, for those little nuggets of opportunity that you get like that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at trying to do. And trying to learn a little bit more about Ruben Amorim and his system, and what does it mean specifically for midfield, right? Because I think I get, like, you know, I literally coach the same thing in the final third of 5 players trying to occupy the 5 vertical zones. So that I understand. I understand what he's trying to do with that. But I don't understand exactly what can Kobbie Mainoo be a first choice for you? Can Ugarte? And if not, like, why not? Because we've seen Ugarte doing it for you. So is it the partner alongside him that makes him not work? Is the height of him and Bruno an issue? I'm going to write them all down and try and figure out the best way to ask what I need to ask without him just going, huh? I'm playing Casemiro at weekend. Yeah, I didn't ask that. All right, cool. Anyway, Javi Guerra, 22 to 26 million. Are you feeling him? Let me know in the comments. See you in the next one. Laters.